Hi, Happy Scrap Girl here today. Today I'm going to teach you how to zip your files so that they open into one folder. Why would you want to do this? Well, first of all, it's easy for your customers to organize and unzip their purchases fast. It's especially important if they purchase from more than one designer at the same time and have to unzip all of their files at once. It's also good because then when your customer unzips their files, they aren't opening up all over their desktop. You're providing a great service to them, and it's really quick and easy for you to do it. Are you ready? Okay. First of all, you can do this with any zipping program. I personally use unzip. I've also used the zipping program that comes with Windows, which is what I'm going to show you today. The first thing that you want to do is find the folder that you want to zip, and today I'm going to use this kit called Making Me Happy that I put out a little while ago, and you want to make a copy of it and put it on your desktop. Next you want to make another folder, and I call this holding, you can call it whatever you'd like, but you're going to need a second folder so that you can move the files back and forth. Take note of the size of your file. This file is 100 megabytes, and so I'm probably going to want to divide it up into 3 zip files. Now I'm going to go into the folder. Let's make this a little smaller here so it fits. There we go. I'm going to take everything that's in this folder, Control A, and I'm going to cut and paste everything from inside of that folder into my holding folder. Okay, so now I have a holding folder that has my entire kit in it, and I have the kit folder that is empty. Okay, now I'm going to go back into the holding folder, and I'm going to select about 33 megabytes worth of stuff to put into the first zip file. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this. First, I'm going to go through it with the way that I like to zip my files. When I organize my kit folders, I have my alpha into a subfolder, and all of my elements and papers are in the rest of the folder. I find that's the easiest way for me to scrap, but I know that a lot of people like to have it divided up so that their alpha, elements, and papers are all in separate folders. I'll show you both ways, and you can decide which way you want to do. So first I'm going to show you the way that I do it. Whoops, wrong one. Going back into my holding folder, and I'm going to grab my preview to put in my first folder, and I'm going to grab my alpha, and I know that my alpha is about 16 megabytes, so I'm just going to grab a bunch of other elements here. I'm going to cut those, go to my kit folder, and paste everything in here. I want to see how big that is. We're close. I probably want to add a few more things to that. It's kind of a guessing game to figure out how much stuff to put in each folder. And I'm going to grab those. I'm going to paste them in here. Okay, now I have my preview in this folder, but I don't have my terms of use in this folder, and there's a very good reason for that. If you put your terms of use or your kit previews in every single one of your zip files, when your customer opens it, it's going to give them a little bit of confusion because they'll get an error message saying that the file is already in the file folder that you've unzipped, and do you want to replace it or do you want to add it? And it's going to be confusing to your customers, so I recommend just putting it in one of your zip files and not all of them. There is a way that you can get around it so that you can have it in all of them, and I can show you that when we do the next zip with the multiple folders with the elements and the papers. Okay, so right now we have about 30, let's see, almost 33 megabytes. So what we're going to do is, if you use WinZip, put a little WinZip icon on your desktop and you would just drag it onto there. I'm going to show you without it because not everyone has it. Just right click on that folder and send it to a compressed zip file. It's going to compress it, and you'll see right here is the new zip file, and you want to rename it. So go to the end of your kit name. It'll name it the kit name that you had the original folder, and you want to add underscore zip1 dot zip and hit enter. Okay. And the reason you want to add zip1 is because there's going to be multiple zips, but inside of it it's going to be the same kit folder name, and it'll take everything from all of those zips and put it right into that same kit folder name. Okay, so now let's go back into the kit folder, my Making Me Happy kit folder, and I'm going to select everything and I'm going to delete it. I'm deleting it because I'm working on a copy and I do have some the original file someplace else. I'm going to go back into my holding folder, grab my terms of use for the second one, and I'm going to try to grab about, oops, that's too many. I'm going to try to grab about 33 megabytes of papers. Okay, I'm going to cut these, move them again to the kit folder, Making Me Happy, and paste them in there. Close it, right click again, send to compressed zip folder. And again, I'm going to rename this. I'm going to do underscore zip2 dot zip and hit enter. Go back into your kit folder, select everything and delete it, and then go back to the holding folder. I'm going to select everything this time, and I have just about the right amount. Cut everything and move it into this folder, the kit folder. Now I want to right click again, send to compressed zip folder. It's going to work its magic. Rename the file again. This time it's going to be underscore zip3 dot zip. Okay, now I can delete this entire folder because I have copied everything out of it and I've zipped it into a folder. And I'm going to move these over here so that you can see them a little bit better. Okay, now I have zip 1, zip 2, and zip 3. Everything from my kit is zipped into these 3 zip files, which I can upload to my FTP. But before I do that, I want to double check and make sure that it's going to work. So I'm going to select all 3 of them, right click, and this time I'm going to use my unzipping program. I'm just going to say extract to here. Now watch this. See over here, it put my Making Me Happy folder. It made a new one because I deleted the old one. I'm going to double click on that, and everything from my kit has unzipped into this one folder. Look at how much time that saves your customer. They can grab all of their DSD purchases, and hopefully they've purchased a lot from you, and they can unzip everything at once, and it'll be all nice and neat and ready for them to scrap with. So It's very easy, just like I said. Now I know some of you like to do it a little bit different. Here's the other one that I showed you, the other kit. I'm going to get rid of these ones. Okay, this is the other kit that I wanted to show you with the alpha. I'm going to make this a little bigger. With the alpha, the elements, and the papers, where everything is in its own folder. If you do it this way and you want to put a terms of use into each zip folder, this is also the way that you can do it. You would just have inside of each of these bigger folders, you would put a little folder and call it your TOU and have all your TOU stuff in there. And that would be the way to do this. Again, I don't like to do it this way, so I'm just going to leave it the way that it is. And I'm going to open the folder, copy everything, and cut it. I'm going to put it all in my holding folder. Okay, now the whole entire kit was 111 megabytes. So I'm probably going to put maybe around between 35 and 40 megabytes in each folder. In each zip file, sorry. Okay, so first I'm going to grab my preview. And I'm looking at my papers folder because a lot of times people will do one zip for papers, one for elements, and one for alphas. But my paper folder, it's really big. It's 72 megabytes. I apparently like to save my papers large. And that's way too big for one zip file, so I'm going to have to divide that up. And a way that you can do this is first I'm going to grab this preview. I'm sorry, first I'm going to grab the papers, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it over here. Now I'm going to figure out how many of these papers would be about under 40 megabytes. That's about there. So I'm going to take this from paper number 9 to paper number 15, and I'm going to delete them from the folder that I copied, which is now in this Hello Sweetness kit folder. Okay, so here's my Hello Sweetness kit folder, and inside of it is a subfolder called Papers. And there are the 8 papers that I'm keeping in the first zip file. I want to go back to my holding folder, which also has a subfolder called Papers. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to delete the first 8 papers. I think it was 8, because I'm zipping those already, so I don't need them over here. Okay, so go back here, papers 1 through 8, and then I can right click on this, send it to the compressed zip folder. Rename it. My stomach is growling. If anyone can hear that, I apologize. It's about lunchtime here today. Okay, we're going to rename this HSG Hello Sweetness _ zip 1.zip. Okay, go in here, the kit folder, delete the entire paper folder. I'm going to go into the holding, and I'm going to take, I forgot to put the kit preview in there, that's okay, I'll grab it this time, along with the paper. How many megabytes do I have here? I have 35 megabytes here. Okay, whoops. Okay, so I'm going to grab the kit preview and the paper folder. I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to move them into the kit folder, Hello Sweetness, and then I'm going to send it to the compressed zip folder. And again, I'm going to rename this. Zip2.zip this time. Hit enter, And just continue repeating this process. Delete everything out of here. Let's go back to the holding folder. And my alpha is a really small file. It's only 7 megabytes. And my elements, I don't want to delete that. Properties, thank you, is 32 megabytes and 7 megabytes. I can probably put all of the rest of this into one folder. So I'm going to select all, cut all of them, and then put them all into the main folder, the zipping folder. Now I can go to send to compressed, where'd it go? Here it goes. Send to compressed zip folder, and it'll zip everything up for me again. And I'm going to rename it zip3.zip. Enter, and there I have all of my zip files. Everything from the holding folder is gone. And I'm going to delete this Hello Sweetness folder so that I can test out and make sure that my zipping all worked properly. Here's zip file 1, zip file 2, and zip file 3. Select all of them, right click, and use your unzipping program to extract them. And right over here is my newly created Hello Sweetness Kit folder, and I open it up and everything is in here. All of the papers are now in one folder. All of the elements are in one folder, and my alpha's in one folder. So everything gets zipped back into that one folder, and your customers are extremely happy. That's the end of my tutorial today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at happyscrapgirl@live.com, or you can reach me on my Facebook page. Have a wonderful day.